Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the Hazel Custom. And finally, we're getting to Advanced Zeta, which unfortunately I don't know too much about Advanced Zeta. I'm kind of not a fan of the designs of the suits as well, because it feels like and it looks like in some areas that's just more advanced than the Zeta era suits. But that's just me. I know a lot of people like the suits here, and the Hazel does look kind of cool. I'm digging the little blocky design it has, and of course, with this suit, confirmation of Advanced Zeta, and also comes with a new skill, which we'll get into when we get to the skill parts of this. And yeah, it's a surprisingly simple, I should say surprisingly, it's a very simple suit, but it does simple really well. And I believe it only has one level, which is 500, which maybe this was supposed to be a limited mission suit at some point or something, because yeah, it only has one level, no 550, it has a 500, which yeah, we're going to start off with the stats here. Obviously level 1's 500, and you have 17,000 health, you have 22 ballistic and beam resistance, you have 20 melee resistance, 20 range strength, and 25 melee strength. You have 125 speed, you have 205 boost speed, which actually goes up with the skill that I'm going to mention in the skills. And you have 55 thruster gauge, 63 turning speed. And for slots, you have 15 close, 6 mid, and 15 long range slots. And yeah, I believe the ballistic and beam resistance for this suit is actually on the tankier side of 500. A lot of, if it's above 20, that's usually how some of the supports are. So yeah, definitely pretty good there. And it seems like they favor wanting you to either go for range or melee, but it having 5 more melee points than range strength, or 25 compared to the 20 range strength, it seems like they want you to go more towards melee. And honestly, playing this suit, it feels like a Mark II. It's definitely more geared for melee, and it can be pretty damn strong in that area, which you'll see in the at some points in this video. And yeah, for primary weapons, you have the Hazel beam rifle, which is 1,900 damage. You have 4 rounds, 300 range, and you can charge it. It instant stuns on regular charge, and if you charge it up, it actually consumes 3 of your shots, 3 out of the 4, so you have 1 shot left over, and it actually penetrates, and it does pretty good damage. I believe in the initial thoughts video, you saw me get, like, not initial thoughts, this is the initial thoughts, in the match with the Hazel Custom, I got like over 3,000 damage on 2 dudes, and yeah, that's pretty good damage charged up. It really helps the suit in a it does a like a high burst of damage to people. You get that charged up beam rifle shot into a downswing. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt raids a lot too. Sometimes the suit feels like an anti-raid with how it works. But yeah, that's pretty good. I wish it consumed less rounds, maybe 2, so you have 2 shots left over. But it's fine. And then you can actually switch out the Hazel beam rifle for the Hyper Bazooka 2, which is 1,700 damage, 10 rounds, 350 range, or the Hyper Bazooka 2 Shrapnel, which is 100 damage, 10 rounds, and 250 range. And for me, I would say don't go for the Shrapnel Bazooka. Usually the Shrapnel Bazooka really helps out if you have a high range strength like the Barzam, or you're a support like the Schwartzum Diaz. God damn, that was 4,000 damage, 4,200 damage on that Jagan. For me, as you can see in this match as well, I am using the Hyper Bazooka because I get more rounds, and typically at 500 and just high cost in general, people don't usually go for ballistic resistance as much, so I'm taking advantage of that fact as well. And I'm fine with it. I do pretty good with it because I like having more rounds in my weapon, so I don't get caught with my my pants down. And then for your melee weapon, you have the Hazel Beam Saber, which is 2,200 damage, and the downswing is the new Gundam's downswing, so it's kind of quick, and yeah, it does a lot of damage. Again, like I feel like a Mark II using this suit, getting the stun with the bazooka and going straight for that melee. Yeah, it will chunk people. Generals, raids, even supports. If you do like the full combo, you'll see that here in a second, I believe. At least on Taru at some point in this match. And then for secondary weapons, you have the Hazel Bullpup Machine Gun, which is 160 damage, 60 rounds, and 250 range. I don't know why they call it the Hazel. Probably so you're not using the regular Bullpup machine gun. But that's some good damage, 160 damage. 60 rounds. It stuns in 20 hits. And if you throw in your bazooka, it actually gets a pretty quick stun accumulation on people. You know, you'll definitely see me use it against Taru and the Zoc. And if you're fighting suits with shock dampeners, yeah, that's a pretty good combo, a stun accumulation combo. Might be a little bit harder to do on, you know, fast-moving raids, since the machine gun has a little bit of a slower fire rate. It's not the Hyzax machine gun. That thing's a pretty good weapon. But, you know, it works as a backup weapon. You don't have a third weapon, unfortunately, like a grenade. I feel like a grenade would really help out the suit if you're using the beam rifle, you know. But it's fine how it works. But yeah, you can definitely use that to add on damage like I did there while Fruity was dealing with that Jagan, or helping somebody get a stun accumulation. So it's fine. I like it. And then your final thing here, it's not even a weapon, it's the shield. You get the shield booster, which is 5,000 health, and it's considered a large size shield. And then finally for skills, you have Shock Absorber level 3, you have Quick Boost level 3, you have a Dodge Roll, you have Leg Buffer level 1, you have Enhanced Tackle level 5, which I believe around this part I'm going to do it on Taru, and it gives, even against the Zoc, well actually no, Zoc has 0 melee resistance, but yeah, you'll get at least over 2,000 damage if you buff up your melee damage. And yeah, you can mix that in with combos, like your downswing straight into a Enhanced Tackle level 5, straight into another downswing will net you in a lot of damage, or maybe you can throw in your neutral if you don't think your downswing is going to be fast enough. Like there, got Taru pretty good with that combo. Then you have balancers, of course. You have Ambac level 2. You have melee, you know, melee combo controller level 1, so that's 2 swings. You have force injectors, you have radar, you have blast stabilizer, so you don't get affected by mobile suit explosions near you. And finally, the new skill, you have shield booster, which apparently, yeah, it's what it says it is shield booster on the, you know, the shield that you have has boosters on it, and apparently it really helps out in the in Advanced Zeta. But they made a new skill, and what it does is that it increases your high speed movement by 15 points. So that 205 boost speed turns into 220, which is really fucking fast for 500. You can outrun a lot of suits. It definitely feels like you're playing a faster suit. It feels like you're playing like a 600 suit sometimes. So yeah, that's really, really good. You also get reduced thruster consumption whenever you start boosting, and every time you're doing your force injectors, which is yeah, that's good as well. It makes that 55 thruster gauge feel a lot higher, especially if you want to build a thruster. If you build a thruster gauge or a thruster build in this suit, you'll be boosting forever. I can only imagine how it is in space. And holy shit, in space you'll be flying forever, or boosting forever, I should say. And then you also gain flight control level 2, and not only that, you get maneuver armor as well. And that, again, even if you get hit where the shield isn't, it's maneuver armor, as long as you have that shield. And the shield, once it gets destroyed, all those get removed, which is unfortunate, but yeah, that's a pretty strong skill. Maybe that's how they're going to give it to supports. Give maneuver armor to supports. But hey, mission complete, and we'll see what we got going on here. Hey, top individual, top assist, and top damage. 8,000 away from 100k. Going to praise Fruity, and I believe the Bolanoke. And we'll see what we got going on stat-wise. Or placement. Hey, first place, 6-2, almost 5,000 away from 30,000 pursuit assist, and got some pretty good assist score, and exactly 4,000 individual. Yeah, so the Hazel, it's a nice, simple suit, and like I said, it does simple really well, which we're going to get into the pros and cons here, which I'm going to start with the cons. The cons are pretty small, and they're kind of just like nitpicks for me half the time. Like the Hazel beam rifle, I feel like it should consume like 2 instead of 3 shots, so that way you have 2 regular stuns to work with, or maybe you can go for another charge shot. And the shield has 5,000 HP, which, depending on the people you fight, that can go away very quickly, so you're not going to be able to make use of that booster shield for too long. Again, that depends entirely on the people you fight. Because I have some matches where that sucker lasts a long time, and then there's some matches where it's like one shot, boom, it's gone. Because I happen to be upon a support, you know, or a really really good general or raid that want to get rid of my shield. Which that I guess that should be a con for the suit as well. Is when you get rid of the shield, the shield booster is entirely dependent on the shield booster. Oh wow, I'm really fucking up my words here. The Hazel custom is the way its skills work for that shield booster. It relies on that shield being not destroyed, because you get the high speed movement, you get the reduced thruster consumption, you gain the flight control and maneuver armor, and it all goes away as soon as it's destroyed. So if you want to go for a shield build, you can try and do that. I think you can get quite a few in there. Get at least over 1,000. You get 6,000, maybe even 7,000 health, which is pretty good for this suit to have. So there's a lot of different builds you can do with this, so that's pretty great. Which now I'm going to go into the pros here. The pros are that this suit, although very simple, the weapons are really good. You get the Hazel beam rifle. It does do a lot of damage when you charge it up, and you get 4 stuns out of it if you're not charging it up. Or you can use the bazooka, which the bazooka is just a simple thing, as using the Mark II. It makes the Mark II look really damn scary. You just get a stun, go for the downswing. Same with this suit. You get the stun, go for the downswing. It works. And the Shrapnel Bazooka, it's a Shrapnel Bazooka. That's probably the only weapon here that's like, but the Hazel Beam Saber does a lot of good damage if you buff up your melee. The Hazel Bullpup Machine Gun is a great backup weapon as well, especially if you're fighting suits with maneuver armor from a distance, or supports with shock dampeners, or just suits with shock dampeners like the Dovin Wolf. And another pro is that the skills, I should have mentioned, the shield booster really helps out the suit a lot. Like I mentioned earlier, it feels like you're playing a Mark II but faster, and that can be really scary because they'll just zoom towards you to go in for that melee, and if they have that melee built up, yeah, you're gonna be taking chunks of damage, especially if they throw in like the enhanced tackle as well, mixing in their combo there. Yeah, very devastating. Another pro is that the stats are kind of tanky for 500. I believe, yeah, it would be tanky. A lot of suits usually have 20 or a little bit below 20. Usually if they're above 20, that's pretty tanky for 500. And I believe you can only put level 3 resistance parts for the ballistic or beam, which is unfortunate, but that will make do. It will make do. Yeah, you will do some excellent... you'll survive quite a bit if you're using that shield booster, and you can do some excellent damage with this suit. So yeah, that is the Hazel custom, and I gotta say, for a 2-star, it feels pretty damn good to play. It's very simple, but it does, again, like I said in like the beginning of the video, it does simple very well. It feels like a Mark II, just faster in boost speed. Actually, I don't know which one's faster between the Mark II and the Hazel custom. For me, it feels like the Hazel custom's faster in boost speed wise, but yeah, of course, there are some ways you can beat this easily. Get rid of the shield; it won't have maneuver armor anymore, or the ability to boost in midair, or you can range it out, because it does have to rely on getting close to you to do its damage. But honestly, if you're playing this suit, it feels just really good to play. Especially, you can definitely fit this in on a team. It can be a nice frontline general, or maybe a supporting general when it backs off of melee with that bullpup machine gun. Overall, I really like this suit. And again, it's just very simple, and that's why this video is probably not going to be too long. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And type up in the comment section how you feel about the Hazel custom. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Or maybe how you feel about Advanced Zeta finally coming in. I don't know how many suits they're going to do, but if I remember correctly, they have some rights issues with certain suits. I think the suits they could use... we already have the Hazel, so there's the Hazel. Maybe the TR5, the Kaplant one. And I'm only basing this off of the ones that are in Gundam Breaker 3. And you have the Wound Wart, I believe it's called. I probably fucked that up somehow. So they would be pretty nice to have in this game. And yeah, the Hazel custom it's a great first showing, even though it's incredibly simple. It's very basic, and almost everybody can pick this up and learn the game with it and do pretty well, honestly. But for some people, You know, the shield booster could be a problem because it gives you maneuver armor. Once it goes away, you don't have it. So a lot of people, I think, would rather pick suits like the Gallus J. So that way you have stun accumulations, you have instant stun weapons, you have 2 melees, and you have maneuver armor. So obviously the Gallus J, I think, is a lot better. You know, getting those skills and that melee off. Because obviously it doesn't have a shield that gets rid of its maneuver armor. So I think a lot of people will probably stick with the Gallus J, but a lot of those people like to play Mark II. This might be a new suit for them to try out, and they're probably going to like it a lot. Or maybe people that like to play just simple suits. Like, again, the suit is very simple, just very simple, but it just does it well. I think that's the 3rd or 4th time I said it. And hopefully, you know, we get some more advanced Zeta suits. Even though I'm not a fan of the designs of them, you know, a lot of people are really excited that we got this. And, you know, it would be great to see what else we got going on here. And yeah, that's going to be it. I will see you guys later. Bye.